people bring their dogs and let them off the leash. The dogs run around and play and they throw balls and the people stand in a little group and they talk. And at any given time after work, there would be 20 dogs and like 25, 30 people. Then you look across the park and there's a playground. You see 2 kids and 2 sets of parents there. Now why do these people treat their dogs better than their kids? And I was asking them, how often do you come here? Oh, I come here 3 times a week. And this other guy, how often do you come? I try to come here every day, or Mitzi gets so disappointed, she takes her leash in her mouth and she goes to the door. But when they have kids, they sit there, they put on the TV, they open a beer and they go, shut up!
That's right.
Why do they treat their dogs so much better?
Let's
And there's a lot more
right?
children in Richmond
I
than
think
there are
I'm going
dogs,
to
I
take a
guarantee you
piece of
that.
paper and I'm going to write up a thing on it. I'm going to call it, let's be honest. You know, how's
I
that?
remember going
And
through Richmond
I'll
all the
leave it
time,
out for
95,
everybody
go
to
right
see.
through.
It's everyone that
A lot
I
of
know
big
anyway.
Buildings and factories
Right?
and all.
Right?
Is that the
Sure.
place to have like
Because-
a big cigarette on the road?
Yeah.
Because we want to do, you see, that's the other thing, and I sort of almost forgot that. There is a time when it's okay to do something that might seem really horrible to somebody else.
Uh-huh.
And so
Right
I
now,
think
that's
that
true.
what we have to do some kind of, a little bit of work or something. If they're not going to,
How old is this house?
the house, this is new, this is, it was built not too long ago.
How long's that?
Murray, when did we start with the house?
1956, we moved in, and as I was explaining to your mother, when we moved in, we had no heating in it, and
Wait, the house wasn't built. You built it. What do you mean there's no heating? There wasn't even a house when you came here.
well, it was a shell.
You had.
Yeah.
What do you mean the shell was here first?
The foundation was in the 4 walls.
Yeah.
Who put those in?
I hired a mason
Change the
contractor that does this kind of work. I could have done it myself, but it would take me too long because I would have to do
Well,
very
I
slow.
can't hear when 2 people are talking. What?
Well, the point is, the foundation was put in, and from there I started to do the woodwork, putting up the wood.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought you put it all in. I'm cold. Is there a blanket? What's this?
Yeah, towel.
Is it clean? Whose is it?
It was just for covering myself.
Is
No one used it, it's not. Is there enough hot water?
For, 5 minutes it will be. It's great recovery. One of the fastest is oil-fired hot water. Faster than gas. Gas is the next fastest. The slowest is electricity. Takes hours and hours before you heat the tank. Anyway, there were no windows here. There were windows where they're supposed to be, but this was too complex. I had plywood nailed across to keep the cold out. Just one thin sheet of like either 1/4 inch or 3/8 inch
Were
plywood.
there other people in Skyview building houses at the same
No,
time?
they all hired contractors. Maybe they helped a little, but I was the only one that really built it. But one of the ideas in Skyview originally was to do a lot of it yourself, but somehow they never really got around to it. It's good to talk about it, but when it comes down to doing it, they're all thumbs.
So you were one of the only ones that actually came and built your house?
Not one of the only, I'm the only one
Oh, really?
that built my own house.
Everyone else wimped out?
Everyone what?
Wimped out.
Well, they hired contractors to build it for them.
They must have admired you building your own house all yourself.
No, they didn't admire me, they were trying to get rid of me.
No, they didn't.
Really?
She's never heard the story.
I've heard the story. I've heard the story 100 times, but I don't know. Do you think there was really malice?
Absolutely. Malice, venom, contrition, not contrition. What's the word? Well, whatever it is. Of course, for one, I beat them.
Friends? Weren't you guys friends though? Like when you first got here, weren't you friends with people?
Oh, I wasn't on the outs with everybody. There were a lot of people that I was very friendly with. The BWs, for instance,
Who are the BWs?
Bengus Weisberg, they were 2 couples that lived together and they had no children. And they have the first house on the left when you come in. on the right was buy it. Oh, he built a lot of his own house, but even he had a contractor, even to do the stonework on the outside.
That's our house.
Huh?
That's where I'm living.
No,
No,
by
you live,
Brown. No,
you're the next one
Flat.
down from BW. That was the Pless.
Last
Pless had that.
So what happened? Why are you, what's,
He doesn't want to hear the story again.
no, I
I
wanna hear.
do, no, but I want you to tell them, she's talking too much.
Oh, well, I won't go into it. The point is,
No, let me hear, I wanna hear it. I wanna get the facts straight.
well, to begin with, they had a very hard time. Well, they sold like memberships in the cooperative. And to be a member, you had to initially put in $1,000. What's going on? And $1,000, like 50 years ago, was a lot of money. The equivalent today of
Still is.
20,000. So they couldn't get members, but I got in pretty early. I was the 21st member. And they eventually paid off the mortgage, and we got our plots, and people began to build. But when I joined, I was the only one that wasn't married. I wasn't even engaged. If I was smart, I would have stayed that way. But
What's the matter, you don't like my
Go ahead.
cooking?
Nice football.
yeah,
Go ahead, finish.
well, they eventually sold all the plots,
All of them? That's
You're
yes,
about to see hypocrisy in action.
and people began to build. And when that happened, a lot of people, around the same time, I don't think they had, even in 1957, by the way, this was talking about 47, 48. When we moved up here in 57, they still hadn't built the whole Palisades Parkway. We used to get off around 303 or something, of course there was a stretch that wasn't built. But when they saw this happening, hey, a nice highway takes you right up in the city, you can live out in the country, wow. But there were no more plots left. And there was a group of people in here that all were friends of,
Uh-oh, something's outside, probably.
they came in as,
The hypocrites
Yeah,
are
yeah,
outside.
let's
Do they
see.
have their dog?
who opened the door?
I didn't see
I
that.
think it opened itself. I didn't go.
Hi, David. Hello.
Hello.
David,
Huh.
good to see you.
I thought you were out or something.
Hello, happy Mother's Day.
Oh, thank you,
Mother's
anytime.
Day. Oh, Mother's
Thank
Day.
you.
Where are you?
Happy,
You big mothers.
happy Mother's Day. Oh, our cat, we gotta do something special for the cat.
Hi,
She
yes.
was a mother, 5 kittens.
I know.
Happy Mother's
What can
Day.
we give her?
Thank
Happy
you.
Mother's.
Oh, David,
My
you're
God.
here also. Boy,
Ready.
you guys really look like me.
Here, Mom, I'll put those in water.
Zion,
Amazing.
come here.
Oh, they're cooking.
Zion, come
That's
here.
what my mother would have said. Why,
Thank you,
okay,
sir. He's doing-
so I'm glad to see you.
Sit down.
Hi, guys.
We're not staying very long, we're on
That's
our
okay.
way.
We're not worried about that.
Hey there.
That's okay.
Hey, Elves, look around and tell me if you see anybody wearing a hat. Look around.
What's this, wearing a hat?
Yeah, you're wearing a hat. Do you see anybody else wearing a hat?
Well, so what's the
So
difference?
take it off.
I
You look
take it off.
ridiculous.
I look